Hi everyone, my name is Zees, and today I'm going to teach you how to add and subtract whole numbers. And as you can see at just a glance, the numbers that we have in front of us they start off with just like 1,000, so like there's one comma there, and then you go up to 1,000,000. I'll just teach you how easy it is to add and subtract even really, really big numbers, and you can even go higher than that and go up to 1 billion, but right now we're sticking to 1,000,000. So yeah, let's just start off here. And just to be clear, you can pause this video and try it on your own once you get the hang of it or whenever you want. I highly suggest just coming up with random numbers after this video and keep on practicing more and more and addition, subtraction, and you will get really great and really quick at adding and subtracting big numbers after this. Okay, so let's just start right here. As you can see, the first four are addition, and these three examples are subtraction. So with addition, what you do is no matter how many numbers you have, when you add them up in a row. So right now, if we just had 9 plus 4, we would do 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that would be our answer. We would write 13 down here and we would be done. But because we have 9 plus 4 and then we have more numbers here, we're going to keep going. So 9 plus 4 is 13, 3, 1 gets carried because that's a rule in addition. And then 5 plus 3 is 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then don't forget the 1 over here. 8 plus 1 is 9. Right? So when you carry something, you have to add all three of these together. So this number and this together, they're not 15 or anything. It's just 5 plus 1 plus 3, which is 9. And then you go to this number and you go 8 plus 3 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 1 carry. And then again, we add all three of these numbers together and we have 5 plus 1, which is 7. 5, 6, 7. So we have an answer of 7,193, which is our final answer. So that was not very hard, right? If you know any kind of basic addition, and if you know the rules of addition, which are just you carry if you have another number here, then this should be easy peasy for you all. Okay, let's go on to this one. 5 plus 2 is 5, 6, 7. Leave that as it there is. There's nothing to carry. 6 plus 1 is 7 again. 2 plus 1 is 3. Oops. 1 plus 0 is just 1. Excuse my going down. I'm clearly going down in this direction, so just ignore that. 1 plus 0 is 1, and 4 plus 2 is 6. Right, and so where's our comma? It's right here. That is a bad comma, but it's right here. Gosh, I can't get, okay. So the answer is 61,377. Okay, now this example, we have 4 plus 0, 4, 3 plus 0, 3, 2 plus 5, so we have 5, 6, 7. Okay, always remember to add the comma at the end just in case some things change and there's like a billion or something, but normally the comma goes over here. Okay, because after 3 digits, you're gonna have 1,000th digit and the comma is always at the 1,000th. As you can see, 3 digits here, 3 digits here, 3 digits here. No matter how many digits are on the left side, you always have a comma when it's before the last 3 digits. Okay, so far we have 734. And what's 9 plus 5? So it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you have a 14. So you're gonna write the 4 and you carry the 1 up here. Right? So now you're going to add all three of these in a line. You're going to add 6 plus 1 plus 0. So we don't need the 0 because 0 is nothing. So we have 6 plus 1, which is 7. And then what's 2 plus 1? 3. And so your final answer is 374,000. 734. So that's a very fun, interesting answer that we have here. It's just these numbers jumbled up, but yeah, that's your final answer. Okay, and now let's move on to the millionth problem, which is 8 plus 5. So 8 plus 5 is 13, 3, 1 carried, and then you have 1 plus 0 plus 1, so that's just 1 plus 1, which is 2. Then you have 2 plus 0, which is just 2, because 0 is nothing. Then you add your comma, and then you have 7 plus 3, which is 7, 8, 9, 10. So with the 10, you add the 0 here, and you carry the 1 on the following one. So we have 9 plus 3 plus 1. So that's 9 plus 1. Let's do that to make it easier. 9 plus 1 is 10. And then 10 plus 3 is 10, 11, 12, 13. So again, you're going to carry, you have a 3, and then you carry the 1 up on the 2 and the 5. So now it's 5 plus 2 plus 1. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you add another comma, because we have a number here, which is our millionth number, 7 plus 1, which is 8. So your answer is 8,830,223. That is your answer. That's a long answer. Okay, so let's move on to subtraction. So with subtraction, you don't add, you subtract. You take away numbers. So for example, if you have a 5 on top, you take away 1 from it, right? Here you had a 9, you added 4 to it. So you said you would have 9 things, we added 4 to them. So that makes 13. Here you have 5 things, we took away 1. So that makes 4, right? So we have 5 minus 4. So the format is the exact same. However, you subtract now. So you have 5 minus 1, which is 4. So we're going to start with 4. And then you have 9 minus 7, which is 2. So 9, 8, 7, right? The second you reach the number that you want, you go, it only took 2 places to reach that number. So it's 2, right? 8 minus 3 is 5, because 8, you have 8 here. If you subtract 3, you go 8, 7, 6, 5. You have 5 left. 5, remember your comma. And then you have 2 minus 0, which is just 2, because anything minus or add, if you add 0 to anything or subtract 0 by anything, you just have 2. And then what's 1 minus 1? Is 0, right? So if I write that 0 here, it's still 2,524, right? I'm not going to pronounce 0. I'm not going to say the 0. Nobody says 0, 2,000. Everyone says 2,000, right? So we don't need that 0 here. So 1 minus 1, if your last digit is 0, you don't need to add it. So if you have like 3 zeros here, for instance, right? If like you had a 2, 2, 3, 3 over here, and they all add and subtracted to 0, you would never write them. Okay, but you can write them for yourself, but just, when you grow up and you write numbers down, you don't write the 0 if it starts the number. Okay, so this second example. So here's where it gets a little tricky with subtraction, but if you already know some rules of subtraction, this might be really easy for you. You have the 0 minus 5. So every time you have a bigger number, every time you have a smaller number and you're subtracting it with a bigger number, you have to borrow from the number on the left. So for instance, you have a 0 here, right? 0 minus 5 makes no sense. If you had a 5 minus 0, it would stay 5. But how can you have nothing and take away 5 from that, right? Like if I had 5 and I took away nothing, the answer stays the same. But if I have nothing at all to give you, right? And you're like, can I have 5? I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't give you anything. I don't have anything, right? I'm 0 and I can't give you 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow a number from someone. So I'm going to borrow a number from this number right here. So I'm going to borrow 1. So when I borrowed a 1 from here, I'm going to write down a tiny one, right in the middle right here. And to make this number a 10, right? But and then 10 minus 5 is 5, right? So now it's a bigger number than the smaller one. But when I borrowed from this number, what happens to this one? Does it stay the same? No, this one was a 6, but we borrowed 1 from it. We borrowed a 1, so now it's a 5. So now the whole number changed to one less number, right? So now let's forget about this one here. We remembered that now it's a 5, okay? But we're not doing that yet until we solve this part. So this line says 10 minus 5, and what's 10 minus 5 is 5. So we're gonna write that down right here. Then we're gonna move to our second line, which is now, first it was a 6 minus 2, but remember we borrowed, so now we forgot that the number is 6, and now our new number is 5. So it's 5 minus 2, which is 5, 4, 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. And then again here we have the same problem. So we have 1 minus 3. 1 is clearly smaller than 3. I have one thing, I have one slice of cake, and you are telling, I mean, a slice of cake we have, but like I have one ball, right? And you want 3, and you're like, hey, can I get 3 out of the 1 balls that you have? And I'm like, no, I just have 1. I can't give you 3. So what you do is, again, you borrow from this one, from the number on your left. And so I borrowed it. This number gave me a 1. So now I'm in 11. And this number, because it was nice enough to give me a 1, now it turned into a 6. First it was a 7, and now it turned into 6. If it was a 10, it would turn into a 9. If it was a 3, it would turn into a 2. But it's a 7, it turned into a 6. So let's forget about this line right now. We have to finish this one. So it's 11 minus 3. What's 11 minus 3? It's 11, 10, 9, 8. 11 minus 3 is 8. Right, you add the comma. What's 6 minus 4? It's 2. What's 8 minus 5? It's 3. And what 6 minus 2 is? 4. So our final answer is 432,835. That's your final answer. Okay, so that was a long one. Let's move on to our final problem, which is subtracting with a millionth number. Okay, so just starting off here, we have 2 minus 2. What is 2 minus 2? If you have 2 and I take away 2, you have nothing left. So 2 minus 2 is 0. Then we have 0 minus 2, the exact same problem we had here. So remember, what's your first step? You borrow from the number on your left. When you borrow the number, which is here, it's a 6, it goes down to a 5 because you took away 1. And when you take that 1 away, you add it right here for your little reference so that you don't forget that you took that 1. And now this number, first it was a 0, now it's a 10, right? When you add a 1 to it, it's a 10. And now you can do 10 minus 2, which is 8. 10 minus 2 is 8. So we did these 2 lines. Now for this one, we have, it was a 6, but now it's a 5. So forget that it was a 6. We have a 5 minus 3, which is 2. We add a comma here. And then we have 9 minus 5, which is 4. Oops, that's a long 4. There we go. We have 9 minus 5 is 4. We have 8 minus 2, which is 6. We have 9 minus 9, which is 0. Right? And then you add a comma, and you go 5 minus 1 is 4. And so your answer is 4,064,280. Yay, so that's all the examples I have for you guys today. I would, like I said before, I would suggest you just have random numbers in front of you, make a list of 6 numbers, 7 numbers, 8 numbers, add commas where it's necessary to separate the thousands, and just keep playing around with that. Just keep adding, subtracting so that you get quicker and better and understand more, understand addition, subtraction rules better. But yeah, I hope that lesson was fun and interesting for you all, and I'll see you all next time.